Hey everybody, wake up. This is Wake Up with Mark Joyner. Today we're going to be talking about alchemy. Alright, so alchemy. What's it about? Alright, alchemy was a pseudoscience, the predecessor to what we now know as chemistry. It is now dismissed as nonsense, but I want to get you to reconsider it, to think of it from a different perspective. I'm not saying that alchemy was real, okay? Who knows? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But I want you to think about it from a whole different perspective, all right? So alchemy was this notion. And there were a lot of very, very serious minds who took alchemy quite seriously. In fact, the great Leonardo da Vinci was reportedly obsessed with alchemy. And the notion was that you could take lead and somehow turn it into gold. And if you were able to figure out how to do that, you could own the world, right? But I want you to think about alchemy instead of as a physical thing, the way that we were told it was taught back in the day, but instead think about it as a metaphor, okay? Turning lead into gold, turning base metals into something valuable, turning the shit in your life into something positive. And I'm here to tell you that it is something that is super duper real, okay? Let me give you a very, very powerful example. When I was younger, I used to be terrified of public speaking, literally terrified. In fact, the first time as a young Army officer, I had to give a talk in front of a whole bunch of other officers. My hands were shaking. I was so nervous. My voice was quivering. Even though I had really, really great, important things to say, I knew that I had powerful things to say. I knew that I was probably the smartest guy in the room. I was terrified. I was totally terrified. Now, there are a number of things that I have done to overcome my fear of public speaking. In fact, if you go to the Simpleology blog right now, you can read some stuff about that. The blog post that is up in this moment as I'm posting this is all about that. That's not the topic for today. But one of the things that I did was I got this idea in my head, and I'm borrowing this from someone else. I wish I could give proper attribution to the person who gave me this advice long ago. I cannot remember. My apologies to whoever they are, wherever I got this from, wherever I read it. But what they told me was that every time you are feeling nervousness, instead of telling yourself that you are feeling nervous, tell yourself you're feeling excited, that you're excited. You're using alchemy. You're transmuting that nervousness into excitement. It is a completely different thing, because if you walk on that stage and you are nervous, everybody is going to feel it. Everybody is going to feel it, right? And then that nervousness is going to spread out into the room, and everybody's going to feel uncomfortable, and they're going to think you're a bad speaker. But if you get up there and you feel excitement, everyone in the room instead is going to feel that excitement. And what you are feeling internally is going to be totally different. It is transmutation. It is transmutation of something going on inside your body. But this isn't the limit, guys. This isn't the end to what alchemy can do. You can take any situation in your life and find the good in it. Now, there are going to be people around you telling you sternly and authoritatively, nothing can be done about this situation. It is impossible. You cannot fix it, little man. Give up. Think small. Crawl into your little cave. Crawl into your hole. Don't come out and try to be great. That's what the world is often trying to tell you. But what the fuck do they know? Okay? What do they know? When we've got guys out there like Wim Hof who are doing things that are authoritatively stated to be physically impossible, and he is now doing this in the lab measurably. He is neutralizing toxins with his breath. And he's not just a freak. He's not an outlier. He's teaching other people how to do it. They were able to reproduce these results with his students as well. Google this. Check it out. Totally verifiable. This is not disputable at this point. When things like that are possible, when a guy like Wim Hof can transmute toxins and neutralize them through the power of his breath, what else is possible that we don't yet know? So when people come and they tell you that things are hopeless, what do they know about it? What do they know? What right do they have to come out and tell you authoritatively that nothing can be done? It's up to you. Maybe there's a way. I'm telling you, there's probably a way. And you can extend this thinking into everything in your life. Haters used to bother the hell out of me. I will tell you right now, I'll be very real with you. There was a period in my life, for those of you who have followed me from a long way back, from decades ago, back in the early days of online marketing, you remember this thing called the farewell package that I did. It's when I left the internet marketing industry. I really wanted to leave. That was a real thing. And I'll tell you, the major reason why was because I let haters get into my head. They won. They got into my head. I gave up. Okay? Now, I left with a big splash. We made a lot of money as we did it. Okay? In some sense, I did transmute that terrible situation into something awesome. Okay, I think it was pretty miraculous what we did, but ultimately I allowed them to beat me. I should have done much better. I should not have quit. But now what do? Now I use the power of alchemy. I use their hate. Their hate is my ice cream now. I love it. I love it. I thrive on it. I love their hate and their doubt, and I love proving them wrong. It gives me great joy. So go ahead and hate. Go ahead and hate, man. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it. I was watching a documentary the other night about BUDS class. BUDS is what SEALs have to go through to become SEALs. It is one of the toughest military training programs in the world. And if you do it during winter, you have to experience some bitter, bitter cold. Now, this is in San Diego, but these guys are doing these late night swims out in the ocean in the winter, and they are freezing their nuts off out there. Okay, and one of the instructors said something really powerful to one of the classmates. This guy is freezing, he's shaking, and I mean, these are some of the toughest, hardest men in the world. You got to be super hard and tough to even get in that class. Now, here's one of these tough, super hard men, freezing, turned into there's this great saying. They say that the ocean makes cowards of all of us, right? It made cowards of all those men. The instructor said to him, he said, take that bitter cold and turn it into aggression. Turn it into aggression. That is something you can do when you are experiencing bitter cold. You can transmute that feeling, turn it into aggression, and it will allow you to experience that cold in a very different way, and it will allow you to pull things out of yourself that you did not think were possible. So I want to leave you with one last thought. If alchemy can be thought of as a metaphor, well, maybe that's what the alchemists were talking about all along. All right, you guys, we'll talk to y'all tomorrow.